This December's cycling trophy at Club La Santa boasted one of the biggest lists of participants in recent years, combining cyclists from two distinct groups, led by Dame Sarah and Barney Storey from the UK, and Denmark's Tayib Braikia and Jørgen Emil Hansen. The first race took place on a blustery Saturday morning and was in the form of a time trial, pitting the cyclists against the clock on a ride up to the village of Sceaux and back. This warm-up event was won by visiting Belgian rider Bart Bon, flown over from Gran Canaria to take part in this series of 4 races. There's been an explosion in the number of cyclists on the roads in the Canary Islands in recent years, but the number of racing events has not matched that growth. So the Club La Santa Cycling Trophy provides one of the only opportunities for cyclists to test their racing skills on the open road. And it was on Saturday afternoon's race when many had their first experience of race riding. The riders leave together and ride around a 2-kilometre loop, up and down the dual carriageway leading to the Club La Santa complex. The rules are very simple. Keep up. But with a group of professionals and seasoned veterans pushing the pace, keeping up was proving to be a tall order for some. The leading groups were teeming with Olympic medal winners and at least one world record holder, who ground through the laps, counting down to the final charge and sprint, which was won by Great Britain cyclist Barney Storey. The women's race was dominated by the ladies of the UK, with the top 3 places taken by Charlene Joyner, Nicola Juniper and Ireland's Lauren Creamer. As the stragglers came in, all thoughts were already on the next day's challenge, a punishing climb at one of the most famous, or rather infamous climbs on the island, Tabayesco. The sun was out at 9:30 in the morning over the beach at Arietta as the competitors gathered for the 10 AM start. The route itself is a favourite for many cyclists, being one of the best training roads on the island and a feature of the 70.3 Ironman triathlon that takes place on the island every autumn. From the start, a small group of 3 riders broke away, Belgium's Bart Bon and Thomas Goossens, along with Colin Norris from the UK. The pace proved a little too much for Thomas and he soon dropped back. The chasing group was not far behind on leaving the village of Tabayesco and contained many of the elite women who travelled from England to compete in a team of Dame Sarah and Barney Storey. In fact, their dominance was so complete that by the end of the 13-kilometre climb, all top 5 places would be claimed by them, headed by world record holder Katie Archibald. For the rest of the riders, just getting to the top of the twisting road would be enough, with a chance to enjoy the scenery back down the valley to the sea. The road itself is seldom used by any traffic other than a few locals and lost tourists, so the cyclists could just concentrate on their rhythm and crank their way up the hill to the finish line, through the December sunshine, and surprisingly enough for Lanzarote, without too many problems from the wind. Remarkably, everybody finished within an hour, and after a short rest and some photo opportunities, made their way back to the complex to enjoy the rest of the sunny Sunday. The final race on the Monday morning was a road race which took everybody on a 3-loop ride to Famara and back. The first loop was neutralised, which allowed all the riders to experience riding in the peloton, but on the second loop the race was on. The leading group quickly showing their class and pulling away from the rest. It was a good day for group riding, with police outriders in front and behind to ensure a safe and smooth progress through the miles. However, after 3 races and many kilometres, the pace wasn't too punishing, allowing enough power in the legs to set the cyclists up for an exciting final few kilometres, with a sprint to the finish line, won on this occasion by Denmark's Tayib Braikia, pushing Barney Storey into second place by the width of a tyre. Bart Bon crossed in third, but carrying enough time advantage from the previous races to take the overall title. The first and second women crossed the line moments later. Ciara Horn taking the win, with Katie Archibald in second, but doing just enough to claim the overall win. We spoke later to Dame Sarah and Barney Storey to get their impressions of the event.
It's been fantastic, and a lot of people who've come here have never raced before. They've done maybe sportive rides and they've never raced, so they wanted to sort of race in a friendly, small group environment. Although having said that, the guys, you guys, have made it really, really hard. The racing has been quite brutal,
It's
but
quite
I think
quick,
everyone's
but no,
enjoyed
it's good.
that.
It's good, nice and safe, and yeah, like Sarah said, it gives people the opportunity to, you know, have a little bit of competition, but in a very relaxed environment, and that's it's really important to help people learn and to you know, to enjoy riding their bikes.
Well, you say a little bit of competition. We saw you hammering it this morning to get to the finish line. I mean, you could hardly call that friendly competition, could you?
Oh no, it's just friendly rivalry between myself and Tayib. It was a good sprint to a good race, so it was really nice. You know, most of the guys and girls here, they like racing. You know, they like the competition, and that can be down to, you know, whether the guys at the front of the race or the guys in the middle of the race who are, you know, just want to experience, you know, a different challenge for themselves. So it's not always about, you know, finishing first in a competition. It's about setting yourself individual challenges, and that's the important thing about this week.
It's great out here. I think it's tough because of the wind, but the terrain is fantastic, and the road surfaces are predominantly 95% of the road surfaces are superb. So it means that it's really good for group riding, safe group riding, because there's not so many things to point out.
And there aren't many vehicles on the road,
No.
or it's a really safe and nice environment to train in. Isn't it?
And I think we like it because of the consistency of the weather. Okay, we've got a bit of cloud today, but it's still shorts and short sleeves. You're not wrapping up like you would in the UK or Northern Europe. So the consistency of the weather makes it really good. And compared to, I don't know, somewhere like Mallorca at this time of year, you can get snow, and right the way through till March we've had snow in Mallorca. So it's good to come here and know that you're not going to lose that many days of training. If you're losing it, it's probably because the wind's picked up and the sun's come in. Yeah, we're booked to come back on the 7th of January. Andy Cook's got his bike week at that point. And then again, we're coming back in February when Jeff Cook's got his bike week. Not necessarily to be part of the bike week, but we just enjoy being around here when there's lots of cyclists.
Yeah.